Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Laugh and Learn. Laugh and Learn is a joyful series where curiosity leads to laughter and lifts. Each episode explores a magical, spiritual, or practical topic, often with an expert guest, as we discover new ways to grow, reflect, and shift our energy. Whether you're learning something brand new or revisiting what you thought you knew, Laugh and Learn invites you to stay open, be curious, and celebrate the wisdom in wonder. Now, in this episode, we're getting delightfully herbal as we turn our attention to sage. Not the advice kind, though you might get some of that too. Please welcome Diana, oil painter,
Hi,
to this
everybody.
Laugh and Learn about sage. We'll discuss the culinary, healing, magical, and mundane uses. And we're talking about the kind of sage you can cook with, cleanse with, or tuck under your pillow for a little magical dream work. So grab your tea, your tincture, or your talisman and join Diana and me as we explore what makes this herb so wise, so potent, and maybe a little spicy. So thank you, everybody, again. This is a Laugh and Learn Magic Tool Talk. I am honored to have Diana with me, oil painter.
Thank you. Just as much an honor to be with you.
Well, thank you. Her link is in the description, as are other links so that you can watch other Laugh and Learns and other magic tool talks. And by the way, in case you didn't know, I'm Tarot Stash. Thanks for being here. Please do that thing, like and subscribe. It's free. It's free. And as always, this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance. Really. Really, really. Yes. Diana, how are you today?
I'm great. You know, the sun's shining, sort of.
Yes.
It could be pouring.
It could be, but here's a great thing. You need sun to grow sage, don't you?
You do. And
Yes.
you can water that yourself.
Oh, yes. I bet you can. I bet you can. Do you have sage growing in your garden?
I do. I do. And I'm not sure what condition it's in because I had used a bunch of it and I didn't go last night to go pull some. And so I'm not exactly sure if I had any to pull today anyway. So kind of worked out.
Of course. I do want to say hello to all of the best chatters, the work lurkers, the best lurkers, and the future lurkers.
Oh, there you go.
So if you were here yesterday for my Laugh and Learn with Tim from Timmy Raven or Raven Tarot Meditations and Linda de Gonzalez, Tim made the statement that it's the future lurkers that, I don't know if that was that or Tuesday. Anyhow, so it's great to see everybody here. So, silly, we're actually not doing readings today. We are doing a conversation about magical uses, culinary uses, medicinal uses of the herb sage. So, and
of which there are two varieties.
There are. And so I did see there, Madame Maru is posting links to both of our channels in the various chats.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
I'm behind on getting things together for the channel this morning. Yeah. So I didn't get my subscribe here for you into my, so forget it, darling.
No, whatever.
So, okay, darling. I know. Who doesn't know you?
It's like, there are some people out there who don't know me, and trust me, there's a lot of places people can be on the internet, and I'm grateful that you are sharing some of your time with us.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Absolutely.
yes. So we're going to start with what I am affectionately calling sage advice. This is the general intro, the types of sage, wisdom, and folklore before we dive into the 4 areas that we're looking at. Now, what you had mentioned, Diana, uh, um, you had mentioned that there's a couple of different kinds of sage.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Okay. So there's Salvia officinalis. That's
Hmm.
our common garden sage. And that
Yes.
is the kind of sage that is used if you're doing old world witchcraft. The other kind is the Salvia apiana. And the apiana is the wild white sage that Native Americans use.
Hmm.
And it's an endangered species because it is a wild growing plant.
Yes.
And we're as non-indigenous, we are not supposed to pluck it.
And we're going to stay tuned, everybody. We have some suggestions for alternate herbs to use for smoke cleansing.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
So yes.
Now, if you can get seeds, if you know someone that you can get white sage seeds from, you can grow it, help bring it back, cultivate it in the wild where it's supposed to
Yeah.
be growing, and cultivate some for yourself. That's fine. But you should also take note, what kind of a spell are you doing if you're using it for spell work?
Oh
Because,
yeah.
right? So if you're going to
Mhm.
be doing a medicine wheel, then I can see using white sage. However,
Yes.
garden sage is just as good as a
Yes.
substitute for that,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It comes
So
in
we
intent.
yes. And a lot of people, sage can be grown. The first kind of sage, easily grown. You do have to. One of the things that I'm not really jumping ahead, but I'm referencing the joy of cooking. One of the things that is talked about with sage is that you prune lightly and only on new growth, because
Yeah.
many hybrids exist and dwarf forms are available, and clary sage is biennial. So keep that in
Oh,
mind. So,
yeah, that's a third kind. Well, it's related to the salvia plant. It gets that same stemmy growth
mhm,
with the
yes,
little purples. So that means all heal or heals all, which is both of them is the same plant.
yes,
Catnip, they're all in the same family. Thyme, um, rosemary, they're all in this same culinary family, but also in the same plant family.
yes. And more people have come in. So thank you. I see Viviani, Purple Moon Tarot, Pia, Play Love Remember, Audra, Kenneth. I saw Joshua. So I've Maureen. I've probably missed some people. So my apologies. Here's the interesting thing. Between me and Diana, we've got lots of information. So we're trying to stay focused. I'm trying to stay focused. How's that? Um,
It's very hard. You'll have to reel me in sometimes. Don't forget,
I
I'm
will do it.
an air sign. So we're talking about a perfect plant
Yes.
for air signs because
Yeah.
sage is the element of air.
Well, and here's an interesting question is for those of you who are watching in chat, do you have sage growing for you? Because
Right.
Play Love, remember, says, I have sage growing. It has a silvery green tone. And there was Maureen said, I have Russian sage in a pot. I love the smell of it. So just wondering if sage can be grown in a pot indoors or if it's better to plant outdoors. Go ahead, Diana.
Yes, absolutely. Your indoor herb garden, especially through the winter, if you're in a zone where you have to bring them in. Rosemary does not weather well over the winter in Michigan. And so I need to bring that plant in. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to conduct an experiment because I now have a standing, it was a carrot box, but it's waist high and it's up off the ground. So I'm going to experiment. I have 2 of them growing out there. I'm going to leave one in the ground. I'm going to bring one in. The one that I leave in the, I'm just going to mulch all around it and we'll see how it does.
I love
because
that.
the moisture isn't going to hurt it. And when it's up high
Correct.
like that, it's not going to get that same kind of ice pack as on the ground.
Yeah. Purple Moon Tarot does have sage growing. Joanne Miranda says have friend growing sage. And Purple Moon said, Purple Moon Tarot, I have lots of herbs to grow. Audra has white sage, so that's very fortunate.
Awesome. Yeah.
So here's a little bit of wisdom that you may not know about sage. In Victorian florography, sage symbolized domestic virtue and esteem.
Now, I did not know that, so I'm so glad you came up with that. Mm-hmm. I do know that tying bundles and sticking it in your pillow.
Yes.
At night when you're dreaming of your loved ones.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And the Latin name salvia comes from salvare, meaning to heal.
Oh,
it's
there
like
we go.
In the name, people. It's in the name.
It's in the name. It's in the name.
And ancient Greeks used sage for memory and snake bites. What my question is did they use it so they didn't remember getting bitten by a snake? Or are those 2 separate things?
The snake bite is a transmutation, right? Because think of snake charmers, right? And even though there is a culture, even back then, that honored the snake and allowed snakes to bite them.
Yeah.
So
yes, Lindsay, like salve. Yes.
Well, and it has healing properties. So just like plantain, where you can chew it up and slap it on and make a poultice out of it, you can do the same thing with this.
Yes. Okay. And so medieval herbalists followed fasting rituals before harvesting sage. I find this really interesting because that goes along with that idea of intention and really elevating it. It's not just an herb, it is a tool that they are using. So that's a really powerful thing. And gardeners plant sage near carrots to repel carrot flies.
That's awesome. I've never grown carrots, so I didn't know there was a carrot fly, but of course there is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome to know. It does have, I can see with my dogs, even when it isn't smoke, they don't like the aroma of it just in a bundle.
Uh-huh.
They pull back from it. So
interesting. Okay, so let's start. We're going to start talking about some of the culinary uses. Culinary uses now, because this is Gerald, #overachiever for entertainment purposes only. I'm taking this. I like to, believe it or not, you can find, if you read these cookbooks, these authors put a lot of good information in there. So sage is a member of the mint family with a warm, slightly bitter taste and an aromatic scent. It's commonly used in savory dishes, including stuffing, roast pork, sausage, poultry, and hamburgers. Fresh or dried sage can be used, so go light, as it can easily overpower a dish.
Mm-hmm.
And the sage is a staple of traditional holiday cooking and pairs well with other hearty herbs. And this is it, this is the sage that I have from my local shop, and it's like used with poultry, veal, lamb, and pork stuffings. and pate, vegetable juices, chowders, soups, sausage, or in or on salads.
And use it in guamkis. If you're making guamkis, you want it in guamkis.
You use in sausage with Brussels sprouts, carrots, eggplant, limas, onions, peas, and tomatoes.
Wow.
Key thing is to go lightly with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So this, I love this. Bell's
Oh, yeah.
Seasoning. Has anybody else ever heard of this? It was a staple on my grandparents' shelf, and they were old world Polish German cooks, and they made, you know, czarnina and kiszka and kielbasa and fresh kielbasa. And when it was the fresh kielbasa, this had to be in it, to the overpowering state, but it was delicious and a mainstay of the Thanksgiving table, the Christmas table. And all of the contents in here it's rosemary, oregano, sage, ginger, marjoram, thyme, and pepper. And it's like the right mix of everything. And the other thing about it is a powder that is ground so fine that it makes a good coating for your little witches candles.
Yes.
Yeah. We can talk more about that after, but roll it in there.
Yes. Pamela said, so much good information in cookbooks. Next to tarot guidebooks, cookbooks are my favorite.
There you go.
So I like that. Cookbooks are my gummies. And people, I've been popping some comments up. People really like sage and sauce. Ooh, sausage gravy and biscuits. So I like that. Yes, it is in the song Scarborough Affair. And okay, is it Bells or Beals?
Bells.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Bells.
It's been in the same box for all these years. And I know you can get it at Vitacost, probably Amazon as well.
Yeah.
Culinary.
Lindsay's getting hungry, so for sorry about that. One thing, Pamela said we used to smoke sage back in the day for bronchitis.
Well,
so
that mint family is going to help break up the phlegm. But
absolutely,
if you have a problem with the smoke, because a lot of people, I've done it myself with sage, overpower a room with it in the middle of winter and then don't open the windows, and 2 weeks later you got a sinus infection because you've inhaled too much of it.
Yeah.
So you can boil it as an alternative, and the aroma is still going to be there without the smoke.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. There is a lot of love for the Bells all natural seasoning. I'm really interested to move on to the medicinal aspects, because thinking about this, when we think about medicinal aspects, this is that. Okay, so you can say we just did the kitchen sage stuff, but the kitchen sage and the medicinal stuff walk hand in hand. So what are some of the medicinal uses that you have, Diane? I'm going to let you go first.
Okay, doke. We have minor common illnesses, so just your everyday sniffles, common cold, things of that nature. But it also helps with depression and dementia, obesity, diabetes, lupus, heart disease, cancer, and is being used more in cancer research as a cure, as is other herbs from the family, such as marjoram and oregano.
Yeah. And again, I want to remind everybody, this is for entertainment purposes only. Don't do anything crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really, really high in antioxidants. So
Yes.
it works with chemical imbalances in the brain, because a lot
Hmm.
of the time that comes about because, well, what are we calling them now? They're called what are they calling the zombie cells, or zombie something
I
that's
don't know.
lingering, zombie junk that's lingering in your body that you don't even know is there anymore, and it's just hanging around, and it's empty, it's got nothing going for it. That can
Hmm.
cause, that needs an antioxidant to get it out of there, to move it away. So by eating it, you can always find, you know, essential oils, but just by
Hmm.
adding it to your food. Like this morning, I had fried tofu, sauteed, I should say, just quickly. Put a ton of turmeric on it, and this, and some Celtic salt, and mustard, because I love mustard. It was delicious. Fried up some onions with it, and wow, you know.
I think, as I've done different levels of research for this, and yes, good for the head and the brain. It quickens the senses and memory. Very antibacterial, and in fact,
Yeah.
medical news today says sage is rich in antioxidants that scavenge free radicals and may reduce oxidative stress.
Yeah,
So,
love that.
and you can use a sage extract oral spray, and that can actually help sore throats.
Right.
So this is I was also, it's an astringent. You can use it as a tea because it helps break a fever.
It
So
also lowers high cholesterol
mhm. I
and blood
also,
sugar.
I also found that um that it's also good for inhibiting perspiration. Now, I think perspiring is a natural thing. We need to do that. It's the smell that oftentimes we want to get rid of. So, but it's also, it can be used for as a liniment for sore muscles and arthritis, which is pretty amazing.
Well, yeah. Click, click, click on the salves.
Yes. Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. Wait a minute. What salves are you talking? Small brew, small batch brewing?
Yeah, small batch brewing.
Maru says, just be judicious. A little goes a long way.
Right. And, when you are using it for medicinal purposes, keep in mind it has now become medicine for you. It's not the
Yes.
prevention of cooking it. Now you're using it as a medicine. So
Yes.
you can overdo, you can overdose on the thing.
Yes. Yes. Go slowly.
That's right.
Yes.
And rotate, and don't expect overnight results. You have to be consistent.
Yes. My girlfriend used to wear rosemary and sage oil in her underarms. She always smelled good.
Awesome.
There you go. So, and again, it is one of these things that it can be good for stomach and indigestion. So keep that in mind. Let's see if there's other research that I have found. There's antibacterial. It's a whole lot of the antis.
Yep, it goes right there with castor oil, and you can just make up a liniment out of it, and
Hmm.
use it as that, especially as a chest rub, instead
Yeah.
of, that'll absorb quickly if it's just in the oil. It will
Yes.
go faster into your bloodstream.
Healthline said it may support digestive health, reduce cholesterol, and assist with blood sugar regulation. And this is a book that I have. I believe it's out of print. It's the PDR
Yeah.
for herbal medicines. And it's fascinating to read this. I mean, genuinely fascinating. Because it talks about like being able, it gives a great description, and it says the medicinal parts are the fresh leaves and the fresh flowering aerial parts. the dried leaves and their oils extracted from the flowers and stems. So, and so it does, it does. I mean, this has got, I mean, to be honest with you, it's got 2 full pages of information about it. And so, but this is, again, this is a physician's desk reference for herbal medicines.
Yeah.
Hashtag for your, you know, entertainment purposes only, kids.
I have the Lost Book of Herbal Medicine. I don't know if you remember, that came out back in the 90s. And when you brought that out, it just made me realize, oh my God, I've got something close to it. And I've totally forgotten about having that book.
Ah, there you go. Well, and Nalani is correct. Anytime we're talking about medicinal purposes, consistency is important.
Yeah.
And and it can help with cognitive issues too. Yes, because we're doing a live talking about sage, and Diana remembered that she had something.
Yeah. Hello. And I ate it for breakfast.
There you go. Ah, see, it happened pretty quickly.
Yeah.
From Very Well Health, a 2023 meta-analysis showed Salvia officinalis reduced hot flash frequency in menopausal women.
Yep. Yes, I found that same thing. It's good for that menopause.
Yes.
Yeah, the high blood sugar helps with diabetes.
Yes.
And the lupus is, you know, it's an anti-inflammatory.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Witchy Garden 919 said sage is amazing and thyme is great too. Yes. Lindsay did share, my partner spends a lot of time with the sage and salvia family. Have learned a lot recently. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
Let's go into some of the magical purposes, and I'm going to the magical uses of herbs or sage. What we're going to start with is we're going to start with Diana talking a little bit about the astrological associations of sage.
Okay. Where did I write down?
Because one of my favorite resources is Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs.
Oh yes, I've got that book too. Oh my gosh.
So it's quite an amazing book.
Yes, it sure is. Okay, so it is associated with the planet Jupiter.
Mm-hmm.
And it is for higher clarity and higher thought rather, and clarity in the thinking. And we've already seen that it is used in culinary and medicinal purposes for just that reason.
Mm-hmm.
It is also associated with Zeus
mm-hmm.
and protection and balance through him, and the Virgin Mary. Now let me clarify what virgin is. We're talking about Mother Mary, but we're not talking about virgin in the sense I've never had sex. We're talking about virgin in the sense that she's an independent woman.
Got it.
Okay. And so that is your longevity and being able to grant wishes, even for yourself, let alone help others achieve them.
Mm-hmm.
And so white sage is also associated with Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign, and sage is a very earthy grounding tool, medicinal
mm-hmm.
purpose. And in that, when we look at the mansions of the moon, in Chinese astrology, the mansions of the moon, there's 28 mansions no matter which astrology you're looking at.
Okay.
Chinese astrology uses it a lot to this day. Well, I don't really do Chinese astrology, but
mm-hmm.
the mansions of the moon is the longitude and the ecliptic, and where they meet and how the moon travels through the cross quarters. And there are 7 in each of those full
mm-hmm.
quarters. And the full quarter brings us to 28, and that's how we get 28 mansions of the moon. So Taurus is in the 4th house and the fourth mansion, And that fourth mansion represents the herbalist.
I love that.
There you go.
That's great. So in this book, he also talks about he gives the folk names: garden sage, red sage, or sawage, SAWGE. And it's you carry sage for wisdom and longevity. It's used in spells for healing, protection, money, and wishes. So what you would do is you would write a wish on a sage leaf and sleep on it for 3 nights. And if you dream of the desire, it will come true. If not, bury the leaf to protect the wish.
Nice.
Yes. I also, let's see. There's in here, it talks about immortality, longevity, wisdom. Somebody had mentioned the idea of the long age, old age, and wisdom, or the sage.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
so that's quite good. Hi, Linda. Baths using sage help purify and cleanse from negativity.
Yeah.
Now, that also means you could, you bathe with it and you can put sage in the water. You can also hang sage as you take a shower, because the aroma can give you the same feeling.
Fabulous.
Yes. So now, and this is where I'm going to veer off a little bit about what you said, Diana, because sage is associated with Jupiter and the element of air. However, some traditions also associate it with Venus and Earth. And it is one of those things. I would just say, don't try to put sage in a little box, because it's not going to like it. It's going to do whatever the heck it wants.
Right. And who's the earth sign but Taurus?
There you go.
There you go. See, it all comes, because when we look at the Vedic calendar, yeah, there are some discrepancies, but it's like the sun is shining through Gemini, but it is really in Taurus or whatever. In Western astrology, we're looking at the sign that it's shining through. And in Vedic astrology, it's where it is in the sky. So, and when I look at astrology, those houses that are next to each other are sympathetic to each other. They are parallel. They can see each other. They become the bookends. They're 30 degrees apart, from stem to stern.
Yeah.
So, it's all connected, just like the 28 mansions of the moon are all connected.
Yes.
The sequence of...
Yeah, I love this. And I do want to remind everybody to please like and subscribe to the channels, because that does help show support. And if you ring that bell, you get notified of when we go live, especially as we do things like Laugh and Learn and Magic Tool Talk. I want to pause here and ask people in the chat, what are some of your magical uses for sage? We will get to talking about the smoke cleansing. So we'll do that, and cleansing is a great thing. But what else are you using sage for magically? Because Diana, I'm curious about this, because you had mentioned something about intention. And say a little bit more about that. This is the perfect opportunity for that.
Intention is everything. You run out, but you've made the intention with the first lap or the very last drop you've had. Doesn't go away. You've set the intention. And just like medicinal purposes, it's consistency. It's what's in your heart. It is locking onto that intention. Right?
Yeah.
So it just stays with you if you have a pure heart doing it. And you know what I mean. I'm sure you all understand what I mean by that.
I think This is one of those things. There's also the idea of that it can guard against contracting the evil eye. You could wear a small horn filled with sage.
Oh,
Is what some of the traditions have done. So,
well, you can also, make prosperity pillows, little
yes,
sachets, and take your intention leaf and stick it in there with cinnamon and ginger and whatever else you've put into your bag of tricks for your
absolutely.
idea of what you need, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Nalani
it,
said,
go ahead.
cleansing is my main use of sage. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And sage is a member of the cauldron.
Oh, there you go.
I like that. I
It
like
sure
that.
is. Right
Kim
there with the baby.
Princess Kim Princess said, I sage outside my house to get rid of negativity for protection, and in my heart, I send waves to my loved ones in spirit. I like that.
Yeah. May I add to that? Because you can take,
Absolutely.
after you have burned it, you can take the ashes and put them in your black salt and
Uh-huh.
do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or take crushed leaves and do the same thing, add it to your black salt and put that around
Yes. And I
the
will
perimeter outside. Sorry.
yeah, the perimeter outside is really good. Joanne says, I like to bring sage into the sauna. Also, it is one of those things we talked about, intention being an important thing. You can also pay attention to when you harvest your sage and, the moon phase. If that's important to you, pay attention to that. If you're paying attention to the astrology of it, pay attention to that. Pay attention to the day of the week, the time of the day. All of those things are possibilities for you to add layers to
The brain
this.
is just clicking. I must have eaten some this morning.
There you go. There you go. And I do want to say hello to Marina, Heart Centered Tarot.
Hey.
Hello, Marina. And Marina and I, the first Wednesday of the month, are doing our sweet or sour readings. Stay
Oh,
tuned. It's going to be great. So, and Denise said, thank you for this is so much information that I saved it to my playlist.
thank you.
We have done lots of them. So, and I'm going to get some sage from my friend and make a tincture. I think, I mean, I'm getting too excited because it's one of those things where little uses and noticing what happens for you when you're using these things consistently, pay attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention to it. It's really interesting.
And I've when I first started making the salves, I was not that cognizant of the dates. It was just like dating it so that I knew when it was made. But
Oh, of course.
I was more concerned with what I was doing and making sure I was doing it right and learning the process. But
Yeah.
now I have started labeling accordingly. So I made stuff on the solstice. I made things for the first 999 portal. Then I happened to make some, which was 7-11. And then I made some for the next portal, which was 720, comfrey, ending of the pain with comfrey, right? Healing the bones. And tomorrow is the day out of time in the Mayan calendar.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tomorrow I am making more dandelion. Oh, and because I'm out of it already, and I made dandelion on 0 degrees of Leo day before yesterday.
See, and this is that thing. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to be honest. Sometimes when there's that much information, part of my brain stops listening because it can't take it in. It's not because of what you're saying. It's because my brain doesn't have that layering and that's okay.
Yeah.
You use what's important to you, and
Yeah.
the more you know, the more you can do things differently. And I think that's the beauty and the excitement of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And,
I think it's quite good.
and it's amazing, seriously, now that I'm keeping track of it that way,
Hmm.
what I feel, because it goes back to intent.
Yes.
And it's not just me, because there is a store that takes these things, and she said, oh, people are loving this.
Uh-huh.
And so it carries over. The intent is for them to enjoy it and use it and find healing in it.
Yes. Um, Maureen asks, I can't burn sage. Where can I find sage spray or sage essential oil? Um, to be honest with you, it's a really great thing to look at your local mystical or magical or health food shops. They may be able to do that. I am also a person who, I would prefer not to shop from our friend Jeff. Uh, um, you know, you know who I'm talking about. But however, if that's the only option that you have, you can do that. You can also look on Etsy and places like that. I have the pleasure of the Veiled Cottage Witch
Ooh,
on
I
my
gotta write
channel.
that down.
The Cottage Witch is coming on my channel in August. And so she does a lot of different oils. So this is great. So and um, like for instance, this Protection Sacred Infused Oil has sage in it. So and
Fabulous.
yeah. Um, oh, and Miss D makes it. Ms. Tarot D makes it.
Awesome.
And grocery stores will sometimes have it. You are
Yeah.
correct. And by the way, purchase responsibly, know your limits. We're here to share, not to sell. And I want to put this up because I agree with
Ooh,
Marina. Don't forget to make an offering at the site where you pick your sage and only take what you need.
beautiful.
I'm a person who I believe that as well. So so and okay. Paul is here and Warrior Widow is feeling good. It's great to see that.
Yeah.
So um okay, so any other points about the magical uses of sage?
Well, one
I mean,
thing that
there's quite a few.
it was used in funeral rites.
Say a little bit more about that. I'm curious.
Well, I am too, because that was all I could find. I couldn't find to what depth and how was it used, as an offering in a censer, like, going to mass and having frankincense, but instead you had sage in there,
Hmm.
but that was all I could find, was that one little blurb. So I have to take a deeper dive looking for it.
Yeah.
But I would imagine that if we go back to Roman times and Nordic times, it would have been used in those sorts of funerals,
Of
put
course.
into the boat and sailed out to sea with the flames going and such,
Yeah.
because it is about that cleansing you already had brought up.
Hmm. Yes. And so, the magical uses of sage, this is where we're going to overlap a little bit. You have culinary uses with a bit of intention. You can turn it into magical uses. If you're using it in a soup to help in a stew, if for people who are not feeling well, ta-da, think about that. I mean, there's the line is very thin. Here, I will say that I can say this since Jamie's not here. The line is so thin that my tiny hand will not cross it because it's so there. So there you go. There you go. Okay. So now we're going to talk about the recreational uses of sage. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that because let's face it, the recreational uses of sage are limited. It's not considered psychoactive in typical culinary or magical forms. And clary sage, however, essential oil, is sometimes used in aromatherapy for its calming and mildly euphoric effects.
Yes, and you know what? When you look at the plant for clary sage, it's veinier. There are more smaller veins in it, and they're you can sense by touch. So think
Okay.
of it in that respect. No wonder it has a different aroma than the other two, because the other two are very strong.
Yes.
And I forgot
I would,
clay.
yeah, that's an important thing to keep in mind. Now, we have this from Lottie B, who said, I was given a lovely sage spray with crystals in it for my birthday. It has amethyst, clear quartz, and black tourmaline.
Awesome.
And Joanne
So,
finds it very calming in the sauna.
so recreational. I found this online, and I think it's by Rick Tarnas, who's a renowned astrologer. But
Uh-huh.
it's herbs of all of the planets and what herbs align with which sun, with which planet. And it's the most concise I've ever seen. It's got great pictures, nice colors. So I had to print it out.
Uh-huh.
And now I've got it for the next time we talk about.
There you go.
Where's the astrology going with this, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the sagebrush is Artemisia species, which is not true sage, has been used in purification rites, but is not recommended for recreational inhalation. So oftentimes it's we see this used for smudging in indigenous ceremonies. And the next thing we'll talk about is the other herbs that you can use for smoke cleansings, because sagebrush itself has got some similar yet different things. I even, some of the stuff in the Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs was like purification, exorcism. It's the idea of you push it all out, you're going to cleanse the space, and it gets rid of all the negative sources. So, and it can also be used in various healings as well.
Which brings us back to that cleansing.
Yes,
because cleansing is a part of all of it, right?
It can be, yes, absolutely.
I love Artemisia plants. They're so important. They have different properties. They all are basically hoe wood, mugwort. All that stuff has that same smell. The what do you call it? Silver mound that we get and plant in our garden. I get that to come back every time I buy it. It's not going to come back. Why are you buying so much? I'm buying so much because I know I'm going to have it coming back. I know how to do this.
I love it.
Never say never.
Yeah, we have a question. Do you know anything about Russian sage? Trying to grow it now. It's got tiny purple flowers on it. I do not.
I would think that it is in the aficionados, and that because all sage gets those little tiny purple flowers. That is catnip and mint and all heal, and all of those that get that rod that comes up with the leaves and the little tiny purple flowers inside.
Yeah, I would say a careful search on the internet would probably give you some good tips. Search multiple places. I'm a big fan of checking with your library If you want to find the right answer, get a librarian to help you with it, because they can oftentimes do that over the phone. Because there's sometimes there's crap on the internet. I'm so sorry. I know that's a surprise. That may be a shock for people, but sometimes things online are not true. I know everybody's clutching their pearls with that. So we talked about, I'm going to take a sip for a second as we get ready to talk about alternative herbs for smoke cleansing.
Nice
Cheers,
driveway.
everybody. Yep.
When we were kids, they would all say "na zdrowie," but we thought they were saying "nice driveway."
Nice driveway.
Nice driveway.
Very nice. I have a playlist on grounding, cleansing, and protection. A lot of those shows are with Medium Betsy Palmer. There's a playlist on that, so you can you can check that. So, Play Love Remember said, I used to smudge the north, south, east, and west corners of my home. Now, in my apartment, I wait for my neighbors to go out. How you do your smoke cleansing is up to you. I actually think smoke cleansing, and I actually have some really a good sprays. There's a local place here that makes a spray for an alternate to burning stuff. Really, really good, and it smells wonderful. It smells wonderful. So if you're not using white sage, you can use garden sage because it's widely available and it's culturally neutral. If you have grown your own, please make sure that you dry it carefully because it can get moldy. It's a pretty hefty herb. It's a pretty hefty plant, and there's a lot of moisture in it.
So a trick that I've found for that,
yes,
I use it myself, is everything goes together easier if you're tying bundles or braiding it while it is still fresh. But if you put it in the refrigerator in a single layer and let it dry, it will not get moldy. It will retain its color.
Okay.
But you got to leave it for a month or two. So, create a little space for it.
Yes, yes. And I was gifted some fresh, some garden sage bundles, which are quite nice. I oftentimes I have hung them. I will hang them up so that they're around. I have also been given some other sage bundles, some white sage bundles, which I know were ethically sourced. So they were, I believe the people who gave that to me have grown their own. So it's quite lovely. So you can use garden sage, and I would bet you could use Russian sage too. So you can use rosemary. It's a powerful protection herb. Very powerful.
Lavender.
I was just going to say lavender. And one of the great things about lavender is when you think about a smoke cleansing, you've sort of, what I do is like, what sort of cleansing do I need to do? Is this an everybody get out sort of thing, like clear the room? Or is this a calm everybody down, calm the energies down so that we can work together and we can all hear each other? Do you understand the difference there? Linda,
yeah.
Diana, do you understand the difference? Okay. Because I think it's one of those things, sometimes we're using a sledgehammer when we just need a thumbtack and we just need to push it in. So lavender, I'm glad you said lavender because it promotes peace and calm. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You can use juniper as well.
Yeah.
I found some juniper incense, and let me tell you, I like it a whole lot because it makes me happy, and it's a strong cleanser of negativity. It's just like boom,
Oh,
out and
cedar.
out and about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cedar is another in that family also that just knocks your socks off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I have on my list of blue sage, sweetgrass, catnip, thyme, all have unique magical energies. What do you have to say about sweetgrass?
I say I grow it and I braid it, and this was from last year. And as you see,
Mm-hmm.
I still have color. It's not
Very
all
nice.
brown out, right? This is about the last one I have from last year, so it's almost time
Mm-hmm.
to go harvest.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I love.
Annie Bear has joined us, and I know Annie Bear has been on her YouTube channel, has been making posts of drying some flowers. Beautiful, 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 beautiful.
Well, and Annie had sent me some beautiful corn bunches,
Yes.
corn husk bunches. And so I haven't burned them all yet, but I want to try and make little doll clothes out of them. But you can take some of those and braid those as well and use that for the same purpose.
Mm,
It's one of the three sisters, the corn.
I like that. Oh, yes. One of the three sisters. That's a good one. Yes. Barbara said, I use a Sedona Serenity Spray, Palo Santo, bergamot, and lavender and sandalwood.
Bergamot. Oh, I love bergamot. It's that an orange.
We've yeah, we'll have to talk about that because bergamot and I don't necessarily get along, but that's okay.
Oh.
So
Send it to me.
yeah. Would you consider garlic an herb?
It's an onion.
Yeah. Yeah. And okay. Annie Bear was just working in the garden, and I'm curious, Annie Bear, do you have sage growing in your garden? So okay. You can also, if you need to do a cleansing, there are non-smoke alternatives that you can do, including things like bells. You can chime bells. Bells are a great thing to do. Yeah.
Tuning forks.
Yep.
Rattles.
Yeah. Annie Bear said just the cooking kind, and the cooking kind will work at it as well. And here you go. Annie makes sage water.
There you go.
So,
yum.
And yeah, bells and chimes. You can use running water as a form of cleansing. So you can use black salt as a form of cleansing. There are alternatives, non-smoke alternatives that you can consider. So
yeah,
but that has been an incredible amount of information that we have had, that we've covered.
I'm telling you, and all the stuff that we didn't talk about. If you want something to burn for a long time, I suggest getting these little charcoal discs.
Mm-hmm.
They're available online everywhere. And then when you light those, you just put your herb on top of there.
Yes.
Whether it's a resin like copal or frankincense or myrrh or Jezebel root,
mm-hmm.
or dragon's blood.
Yes.
Or any of those resins, and then that will burn slowly and burn at the rate, just
exactly
coming out.
Exactly. Annie Bear also uses rose water as a cleansing.
Yeah.
And you can use tuning forks, and singing also does. I am personally a big fan of Florida water. I think it's beautiful. Ms. Tarot D has a beautiful video on her channel about making a spray, cleansing spray. It's beautiful.
I have to look for it.
It's great. So, and okay, so yeah, big fan of the rose water, and I think this is. Millie said, "My sage bush has outlasted everything I've ever planted outdoors."
Don't you love it? You know, I mean, oregano will grow like that. I can't kill.
Okay, Marina said, "Write slower, you guys. I can't write that fast." Well, okay. Bells. Ms. Tarot D on her channel has a video about creating a spray cleansing. So this is wonderful. Essential oil sprays, tuning forks. There's singing, rattles. Yep, drums.
Running water.
Yes. You can also. Water. What was that?
Boiling water.
Yes.
Tea kettle with whistle.
There's a spray recipe on Annie Bear's channel.
Yay!
Beads, pennies. I think it is one of those things. It's fascinating the impact of your intention for cleansing something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yes, you can cleanse with your own breath in a pinch as well.
Oh, yeah.
So
blow it out.
Yeah. So.
Well, and the sound that winged creepy crawlies make, from mosquitoes to flies to my beloved bees.
Yes.
You know, they make a click, a tick, a imperceptible.
Oh, yes.
Or when they're all together like the bees, oh my gosh, it's overwhelming. You can hear them 10 feet away, you know?
Yes. Yes. And I believe it's one of those things. Yeah, we could sit at Diana's feet for days learning. There you go.
Girlfriend, you make me want to cry.
Well, I love the introduction you got last week with Linda from Linda de Gonzalez. She nailed that one.
Thank you guys. But I mean, she made me cry. It's like, who are you talking about?
Yeah, well, just, you need to watch that playback. So this has been our Laugh and Learn Magic Tool Talk about sage. And I want to encourage you, whether you came for the flavor, the folklore, or the functional magic, we hope this sage session has stirred up a little wisdom of your own. If you're feeling a bit more grounded, a bit more curious, or just inspired to sniff your spice rack with new reverence, we consider that a win. So thank you for joining us on this leafy little journey. May your thoughts stay sharp, your roast stay seasoned, and your magic stay mighty. Thank you, everybody. Bye.